Whenever you see these weird animated stories from Japanese animation, they will likely be from a guy named Junji Ito. Ito was a writer and manga artist whose horror stories are praised worldwide. I am a huge admirer of his work, but there is one story in particular that, while I wouldn't say it stands out from the rest, it did creep the living F out of me. The story is called Fashion Model. While Ito's work for a long time was limited to manga, in 2018 some of his stories were released in the form of anime, which was great for people who don't read manga. Now the story begins with a writer named Iwasaki, who is having a bad day. He is having this weird feeling that something is about to go wrong, and then sitting at a cafe, he sees a magazine, opens it, and finds a fashion model that scares him to death. He would ask himself, why is she so ugly? He'd even have nightmares about her. The next day, he meets his friend, who also happens to be the director, and tries to creep him out as well, but he's a Sigma boy. Days go past, but the image of the woman never vanishes from his mind. His script gets finished, made into a successful movie. As the crew meet to discuss their next project, the director has an idea. We are famous now, so why don't we have auditions for the female lead for our next film? They put out an ad and have auditions, but only 3 women apply for the part, and while they gush over the images of the first 2 actresses, the third envelope shocks them all, as this is the same model that the writer saw in the magazine. Despite the woman looking even worse than the nun, the director insists that she's a pro and will have star power. We'll cast her alongside the lead actress, which gives Iwasaki even more creeps. The next day, they hold the auditions in a cafe. Both of them once again gush over the beautiful young actress, but not for long, as Fuchi, the model, arrives at the scene. The director tells Fuchi that Iwasaki is a huge fan of her, a joke Iwasaki didn't like, but Fuchi, she loved it, but not as a joke. After the meeting, the director tells Iwasaki that he didn't know she'd be this tall, and that he is worried that she wouldn't even fit in the frame. But that's gonna be the least of his troubles. The crew, along with the 2 new actresses, leave to film in a remote jungle. One of the crew members made a nasty joke, and everybody laughed. But once they stopped laughing, Fuchi started to giggle and then opened her mouth, and she started laughing. At this moment, they knew they fucked up. They reach the destination, and the first thing Fuchi says is that she loves remote places like this. The shooting begins. Iwasaki is seated right next to Fuchi, while the lead actress does her scenes. One of the crew members tells Iwasaki that he thinks Fuchi likes him, which makes Iwasaki very uncomfortable. So he stands up and goes into the woods. As he is strolling around the woods, he feels that there is something behind him. He turns and it's Fuchi. Iwasaki gets scared and starts running. Fuchi continues her creepy giggle and runs behind him. Now Iwasaki is super scared. He returns to the crew and tells them to leave before she gets back. But they don't want to do that. They want to finish the shooting first. Fuchi returns. They resume shooting. By this time, Iwasaki and the lead actress are in the frame. Cut, says the director as he praises the lead actress, but Fuji doesn't like it and confronts the director. And with a soothing feminine voice, she says, "Excuse me, you've been filming her scenes for a while now. When will you be putting me in front of the camera?" The director comforts the model and says that she's next after the break. Now Fuji has made everyone scared, and during the break, the crew discussed how to get rid of this mess. While Iwasaki is hell-bent on getting rid of Fuji and even leaving her in this remote place, the director doesn't think it is the right thing to do and believes she will only come for revenge. And at that very moment, one of the crew members ran towards them and shouted, "It's terrible," which leads to one of the most disturbing parts of the episode, parts that I won't spoil for you. Stories like this are why Junji Ito is considered a master. If you want me to show up on your feed like Fushi, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for your time. Bye.